Good evening and welcome to yoga. My name is Diamond. Thank you for joining me. We're going to go through a short practice where we're going to stay pretty low to the ground. There'll be some moments of strength, stillness, and breath, but some moments where we're going to find fluid movement and sync up with our bodies for the evening. You shouldn't need anything. I do have some blocks. They may come in handy. If you don't have blocks, you can use some books or some couch cushions, or you can use a blanket to prop up your hips at the end. So let's jump right into it. We're actually going to start seated. And I'm going to come to a cross-leg position. You can come to the knees, wherever you can get comfortable. We're just going to shrug the shoulders up and down the back a few times. And then reverse the circle. Just noticing if there are any points of tension. Let's drop the shoulders where they are. Try to sit with the spine straight and gently start to look up and down, warming up through the neck. Start to look left and right on your next inhale. Eventually dropping the chin to the chest and then making small circles with the neck in one direction. And then reverse and go the other way. Let's bring the head back upright. And begin to relax the shoulders down. You can leave the hands in the lap, either palms up or down, whichever is comfortable. You can always place them in between your legs or wherever is comfortable. We're just going to be here for a few moments. Start to close down the eyes and just breathe normally. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice if it's fast or slow. Notice if it's in your throat, in your chest, in the rib cage, in the belly. And then begin to soften in the toes. Feel the feet and the sit bones connect to your mat, the ground beneath you. Allow the legs to be heavy, the knees weighing down towards the mat, the hands also heavy wherever they're resting. Relax the belly and drop the shoulders away from the ears. Shine the collarbones forward. And then relax the jaw, relax the eyelids, the space between the eyebrows, the skin of the forehead. And then start to move your attention towards your breath once more. See if you can expand the ribs and the belly on the inhale, filling the body up completely with air. And as you exhale, soften everything, completely empty out, bring the belly button to the spine. Continue breathing in this way, trying to elongate the inhales, followed by the exhales. Trying to keep the breaths even. And again, check in with yourself. How do you feel right now? What is the quality of your breath? And where do you feel it? Can you drop everything for the duration of this practice? Can you release any thoughts that are no longer serving a purpose in your life? And can you move your attention inward where the attention goes, the energy flows? So can you bring that attention back to yourself? Take a few more deep breaths in and out. Try to make the mind blank. Inhale in, deepest breath you've taken in so far today. Then exhale, we're going to open the mouth side out, begin to bat the eyelashes open. We're going to actually just shift so we can swing our legs in front of us if you're sideways on your mat, just so your feet are facing the front. And then we're going to keep the heels about hip distance apart here. Hands are going to come behind you to support you. And then we're just going to drop the knees left and right. They may not come all the way down to the ground. We're just starting to wake up through the hips, find small movement here. Maybe it'll feel good to take the feet wider, maybe as wide as the mat. And maybe it may feel good to hold your knees in one direction and the other. So a few options here. Just do what feels good to you. Nothing too rigid to start. And then we're going to bring our legs in front of us. So we're seated with our shoulders over our pelvis. Bring the feet together, feet flex towards the face. Maybe we move the fleshy part of the buttocks away so we can feel the sit bones grounded on the mat. From here, we're going to lift the arms up towards the sky. Feel free to bend in the knees here. Again, we're just warming up, so we may be a little bit stiff. We're going to inhale, lift up out of the pelvis, and then exhale, we're going to lead with the chest and dive forward with a flat back. The hands can come to meet the toes, the feet, the ankles, the shins, wherever they may fall, but again, with a flat back. Inhale, straighten a little bit longer, find some length in the spine. As you exhale, hinge from the hips and continue to dive forward. Continue to breathe deep here. Keep your attention on your breath. You should be able to take nice, big, smooth, deep breaths in these poses, and if you find any restriction, maybe back out a little bit and see if that makes a difference. 2 more breaths. And then as you inhale, lift the upper body up, and then exhale, come back to center. We're going to bring the bottom of the right foot in towards the inside of the left thigh, and the right knee is going to fall away from the body. From here, we're gonna lift the arms up and go into the same fold, but this time with the legs in this tree position, Janu Sirsasana. And then we're going to exhale and fold forward. Again, trying to bring our chest to our shin. Trying to keep both hips heavy on the ground, both sit bones. and we're reaching for the shin, the leg, or even past the foot. Inhale in once more. Exhale here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to lift the upper body up. Bring the upper body back in space. The bottom of the right foot is going to come down about where the knee is, about fist distance away. And then we're going to hug the right knee in with the left arm. And the right arm is going to lift up on an inhale and come behind as we turn to look over our right shoulder on an exhale. The left leg is active. Flex the left feet towards the face here, but we're still not locking in to the knee. Inhale, grow a little bit longer and taller, find length in the spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Look behind you. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to lift the arms up. Both feet are going to come out in front of us. And as we exhale, we're going to fold forward once more. Notice the difference here. Can you straighten the legs a little bit more? Can you fold a little bit deeper here? Has this shape changed since we've taken the small movements that we have? Inhale, come back up. This time we're going to bring the bottom of the left foot towards the inside of the right thigh. And then we're going to take Janu on the other side. So inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Right foot flexes towards the face. And as we exhale, hinge from the hips, dive forward, reach for the foot, the ankle, reach to clasp the hands in front of the foot, or you can still be up here. We want to try to keep the back flat and hinge from the hips. We want to avoid rounding just to pull ourselves into the shape. You shouldn't be pulling on the foot at all. All of your momentum should be coming from the fold. Even if I didn't use my hands, I should be able to find length in the spine and then still just release forward. So this can look different on both sides and for everybody. So take a few more breaths wherever you are. And then inhale, bring the upper body up. The knee is going to come up, the bottom of the foot comes to the ground. We're going to hug that knee with the right arm, and then we're going to twist over the left shoulder, looking behind you. Right foot is still flexed towards the face. Find length on your inhale, and then twist on your exhale. Release, come back to center. From here, we're just going to cross the feet in front of us and then come onto all fours. However you want to get there, we're going to bring the wrist under the shoulders, the hips over the knees. We're going to drop the belly, look up, open the chest on an inhale, cow pose. And as we exhale, we're going to pull the belly button to the spine and arch the back, chin to chest, cat pose. Follow your breath here. Inhaling, exhaling, beginning to find movement. Once more, noticing any tension in the body. Noticing the fluidity of your breath. And then from here, we're going to tuck the toes under. Maybe walk the hands out in front of you, about an inch or so. Plant down through the hands and the toes. The belly button's going to pull to the spine, and the tailbone is going to peel up towards the sky. As the legs begin to straighten, it's okay to keep a nice bend, but the heels are moving towards the mat. Press into the hands and feet evenly. Chest is coming down, back towards the thighs. Gaze is behind the mat, between the ankles, the knees, the thighs, towards the belly button. Continue to breathe,
pointing that tailbone up towards the sky. Really pressing down through all of the fingers and the toes. And then maybe we can find some movement here, walking the dog by bending one foot and then the other. And then straighten through the left leg. The right leg is going to lift from the heel. Maybe point and flex the toe here. Maybe make circles with the ankle here. And then we're going to bend through the knee. The knee is going to come upwards, and we're going to open through the hips here. We're still pressing down through both hands evenly. And then we're just going to straighten the legs, bring the hips back parallel, and then drop the foot to the ground. We'll repeat on the other side. So straighten through that right leg, lift the left heel up to the sky, point and flex the foot in three-legged dog. The leg doesn't need to be super high up. We want to keep the hips square here. Just notice where you are. And then from here, we're going to bend through the left knee, open up through the hips so the left knee reaches up towards the sky, really ground down through both hands. And then we're going to bring the hips back parallel to each other and then drop the left foot towards the ground. Again, we can walk through the legs here. And then on an inhale, we're going to look up in between the hands. We're going to bend down through the knees, and you can do this in one movement or a few, but we're going to try to hop. So the feet come to the outside of the hands into a squatting position. Maybe we're on the toes here. Maybe we're rocking side to side just to get into this shape. If you do have blocks, maybe they're assisting you, or you can keep one underneath you to find Malasana or Yogi Squat. So wherever you are, try to find stillness. Bring your tailbone underneath you, reaching towards the ground. Crown of the head is reaching towards the ceiling. The collarbones shine forward. Bring the palms together in the heart space. Press the hands into each other. And allow the elbows to press back into the knees, opening up through the chest. We want to avoid from slouching. We want to try to stay open. Maybe the gaze is slightly up, but not towards the sky quite. And just breathe here. Again, this is a great place for a block. If you need a little bit of support here. And then we're going to plant the hands in front of us. The hips are going to move back and up, and we're going to fold over the legs here. Maybe bending through one or the other, but folding from the hips and just finding some movement here. And then we're going to slowly lower the hips down again. Continue to breathe here. Find your Malasana, your Yogi Squat. Once more, begin to straighten through the legs. Bring the hands to the ground and then forward fold. Exhale deeply here. Maybe sway side to side. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, lower down back to your squat. Let's do this 3 more times. Let's follow your own breath here now that we see what the movement is going to look like. And then last one. Fold. This time stay here. Inhale, halfway lift, create a flat back. Exhale, fold once more. Press down through the feet, activate the legs. Slowly start to roll the body up to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring them down into the heart space. Once more, inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward with a flat back, hinge from the hips. As you inhale, create a flat back, halfway lift. And then we're gonna plant the hands and then step back into downward facing dog here. Straighten through the legs, heels are reaching towards the ground, tailbone is reaching up towards the sky. From here, we're going to look up in between our hands. We're going to step this right foot to the outside of the right hand. Feel free to drop the back knee here, but we're gonna come into lizard. So hands are in front of you. Maybe the toes are slightly pointed outward off of the mat. And then we're going to breathe here for a few moments. I'm going to throw a bunch of options out here for us. So take the level that feels right to you today. If you have a bunch of energy and want to challenge yourself, then definitely go for it. If not, just stay where you are. Keep the back leg lowered as we move through these sequences and just try to stick with your breath. So we're going to move here from lizard. Again, if you would like to stay here, leave that back leg down. If not, we're going to lift it up. We're going to straighten it out. The heel is going to reach towards the back wall behind us. The left hand is going to stay planted, and then we're going to lift the right arm up towards the sky here. And then twist. Opening up. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, really ground down through the lower body, and the right hand is going to come back and the left hand is going to come up. You're going to reach forward with your left hand and backwards with your right in this twist. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, keep the legs where they are. The right hand is going to reach for the back of the left thigh, and the left arm is going to reach up overhead. And then we are going to back bend slightly here. Again, you could be here. You can be down here with the leg lifted, still going into the same shape with the arms. Whatever works for you, explore. One more breath. We're going to drop the left hand back down. We're going to move into side plank here. So either the right arm stays up, the hips still drive up towards the ceiling, and we're going to step the right foot back so it's stacked over the left, or you can keep it slightly in front of the left foot, right? So hips driving up towards the sky. We can also take the right foot, cross it in front of us for a little modification here, still driving the hips up towards the sky, still doing the work in the lower body. Or if this is still too much, the right foot can come out long, and then you can drop the left knee to the ground, still keep the same shape with the arms. Wherever you decide to land, take 2 more breaths. And then slowly bring your right hand back towards the ground. And then we're just going to lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Take 5 breaths here. Reconnect. Notice how you feel. Notice any sensation in the body. Try to keep your breaths full. Try to keep your breaths even. And then we're going to prepare to move towards the other side. So we're going to inhale, look up in between the hands. The left foot is going to come to the outside of the left hand. We're going to find lizard here. Let's hang out here for a second. Maybe you lower the back knee and breathe here. Maybe you find some movement. Maybe you come to the ground or come to some blocks here. Or you find stillness. Whatever you did on the other side, try to attempt the same on this side. But also walk us through all of it, but maybe not do all the options. So we're going to lift this back leg. Right heel is reaching towards the back wall behind you. And we're in lizard here, hanging out. And then as we inhale, the left arm is going to reach up towards the sky, and we're going to twist the body So we're here. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and then lift the body up into this twist. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. We're still bending down through that left knee. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, reach for that the back of your right thigh with the left hand, and the right arm is going to swing up and over, really opening up through the side body here, reaching behind you, feeling a nice back bend here. We're going to lower the right hand down, come into whichever plank variation you took on the other side. So I'm going to step my left foot back to stack on my right, hips drive up, and the left fingers reach up towards the sky. The shoulder blades are stacked here. Make sure the feet are flexed, kind of like you're standing, even though you're sideways. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly bring the left hand down towards the mat. And then this time we're going to drop the knees to the mat. Either keep them together or bring them wide, big toes to touch, knees as wide as the mat. We're going to drop the chest and the forehead down, come into child's pose. Again, if the knees are together, you can bring the arms behind you and let the shoulders be heavy. The arms are a little tired. I'm going to take this wide-legged version and just breathe. Reconnect with the breath. Check in with the body. How do you feel? Let's take 5 more rounds of breath. Really sinking into the mat here. Slowing down the heart rate in the body. And we're going to press into the hands. If they're behind you, bring them in front of you. And then we're going to slowly lift the forehead, use the hands to press the body back up into a seated position. You can come into cross leg. I'm just going to stay here on my knees. Again, another good place for a block. I'm actually going to sit back on one. Let's shrug the shoulders up towards the ears once more. And then let's bring them forward. Drop them. And then find a straight spine. Begin to look up and down. Look left and right. And then bring the chin to the chest, make small circles in one direction. And then the other. Bring the arms up towards the sky on an inhale. As you exhale, bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand comes behind, twist towards the right. Inhale, bring the hands to center. Exhale, right hand to the outside of the left knee, turn towards the left. Find center here. Bring the hands to the knees, palms face up or face down. Relax the face, let the eyes become heavy. Relax the skin of the forehead, the jaw, the throat.
Let the collarbones relax but shine forward. Let the shoulder blades roll up and down the back body. Relax the belly. Let the arms sit heavy in your lap. Feel the legs sink into the ground. Notice the contact that you have with your mat through your feet and your seat. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice the quality. Notice where you feel it. Has that shifted since we first started? Are your inhales as long as your exhales? For 10 more breaths, let's keep our attention inward. Continue breathing here for however long you would like. If you have the time, I highly recommend making your way onto your back to take Shavasana. Maybe lay in this state for the next 2 to 10 minutes if possible. If not, I will leave you here. Let's bring the arms up overhead on an inhale. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart space. Press the palms into each other. Drop the chin to the fingertips. Thank you for practicing with me this evening. I will leave you with this sentiment. Be gentle with yourself, because you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Namaste. Have a good evening. I will not be doing sunset yoga this Friday, but the following, we will be resuming the last 3 Fridays of July. But until then, we will be streaming every Wednesday still at 7:30 p.m. So I will see you then. If you would like to leave a donation, my Venmo is in the bio, and I'll see you guys soon. So have a good night.